We begin with breaking news today. At least 60 people have been killed in an Israeli strike on a school housing displaced people in northern Gaza. That's according to Gazan health officials. The Israeli military has confirmed the attack, claiming the compound was being used as a command centre for Hamas. The Hamas-run media office says the strike hit during morning prayers, leading to large numbers of casualties. Well, let's cross live to Haifa. Sky's international affairs editor, Dominic Waghorn, is there for us. A very good morning to you, Dominic. So tell us what details we have of this strike.
Well, this is what the Israelis are saying. They say this was a religious school compound with a mosque in it, and they struck a target that they say was being used by Hamas as a command and control headquarters from which Hamas was orchestrating attacks on Israeli soldiers. They've said the attack happened. They say that they used precision munitions to do it. And for the pictures we've seen that our crew has taken at the site and other agencies have, it clearly is a deliberate, direct attack on this building. The Israelis say they used steps to mitigate civilian harm, so using a precise missile, precision munitions, but also using aerial surveillance and intelligence gathering. But their critics will say that doesn't really add up, because if they were observing this building, they would have known it was being used as a shelter by Palestinian civilians who are using nearly all of these kind of schools or mosques as kind of sanctuaries against this relentless Israeli campaign going on in Gaza. And the Palestinians say it happened at dawn, so in the middle of morning prayers. And the pictures we've seen are horrendous, of terrible carnage inside this building. We've counted at least 20 bodies and assorted body parts. A horrendous picture of carnage inside this building, which sort of suggests that whatever steps Israelis were taking, if they were to mitigate civilian harm, those steps failed. And I think the point is that this is significant because it does seem to be one of the biggest single losses of Palestinian lives since the war began, and we've seen many of them. But also it happens at the beginning of a week that was meant to see renewed impetus behind diplomatic efforts to bring about a ceasefire in Gaza, but also to kind of neutralise the threat of the aftermath of Israel's assassinations of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran and also a high-ranking Hezbollah commander in Beirut, which the Israelis expect will lead to retaliation, possibly from Iran, but almost certainly from Hezbollah, threatening places like Haifa, the city in the north of Israel, and other targets across Israel. So the hope amongst Israeli diplomats and other Egyptians and Qatari negotiators was that they could bring about renewed momentum to the diplomatic process towards a ceasefire that would end up with hostages being released in Gaza and some kind of end of hostilities in Gaza, and also neutralise that threat. Obviously, what's happened in Gaza this morning is not going to help that process at all.
No, Dominic, thanks very much indeed.